Subject, subcontractor, employment. What the hell does that mean to you? Are you a subby? Do you have your own little business and that's why you've been employed as a subby? Do you have a big truck like me or a van? Have you got enough money in the bank to buy another one if it's in trouble? Do you have enough money to cover some shit that hits the fan? This is why I'm successful. I had my own law firm for 10 years, so I'm a property law specialist. Before I chose to do this firm, I had a legal background and I've got a very, very extensive knowledge of property law. Deaths, births and marriages and wills and probates and other things alike with council rulings and so on. I'm qualified to give you legal advice in property law. I'm a property law specialist and financial advisor as well. Financial services and property law is what I qualified in. So I've stepped along out of that side and realised I'll go back into that when I retire. I've got a business on the side as well called bargainbasementaustralia.com. It's an e-commerce dropshipping system that I've designed over the years. It made $35,000 in 1 month. I started off with $20. One shoe was sold over a month. Then I sold $35,000 in profit just on eBay alone. I went viral 3 to 5 times and I've had to back it off for personal reasons, okay? I've got still personal reasons for why it's backed off. At the end of the financial year, when I'm going interstate, I'll be opening up their e-commerce and software development. So I learned how I self-taught because when I'm 42, computers came out when I was a little kid. We used to pull them apart and crack coding commands. I have an understanding. I never really understood software, like how to build a software. I know how to build software, but how do you program coding? XY equals this, enter, and it will do a formula. Okay, now I'm good at it. I've got a business, like I said, Bazina, well, that's my old firm, Bazina & Co. Conveyancing. Now I've got the other firm, Bazina, bargainbasementaustralia.com. It's been running for a good 10 years. It started off, I had a business in the Laverton market for a very long time and I killed it, guys. But it started off, you guys will start off as what you would call a what's the government ATO say? Is it a business, or is it enjoyment, or is it a hobby? So I started off with Matthew's Bargain Basements Australia as a hobby. I had $500-600 in a bag full of good stuff, turned it onto a table, and everyone came like seagulls. I made a few hundred in 10 minutes and scratched my head going, far out, go and get some more shit, come back next week. And I just kept doing that for ages. So I know what I'm doing now. My best friend died back then a long time ago. Then I had my kid. I had to move into suburbs, from the west to the southeast, from St. Albans all the way to Frankston. I chose to have my kids. I've come back to the west side, west for life, guys. How can I say, you could take the west out of me, you could take me out of the west, but you can't take the west out of me. Alright, so I'm a western boy and I go all around Melbourne. I'll be going interstate soon and I need you guys to follow suit and hold this firm strong in Melbourne. So as a subby, just so you know my background, okay? I have an accounting, financial background. I've run businesses before. I know what I'm doing. I don't know about you. Maybe I'm wasting my time with this shit. Maybe you're at my level or close to it, a bit under. But I know that I don't need to train you. Just need to give you the trial experience of what we do and follow suit. But in terms of like subcontractor, there's 2 types. I'm not going to do one of them. Trade Practices Rule, TPR. Now every business needs to run a business activity statement. If you've got financials over $75,000 in profit a year, you must declare your GST component, which means now you need to go and get the software and submit your BAS statement, business activity statement every quarter. So the financial year starts from the 31st of June to the 30th of July. June, July, okay? July, August, September, October, 3 months, 1 quarter. October, November, December, 2nd quarter, 6 months. July, August, September, October, November. December, January, February, next 3rd quarter. March, April, May, 4th quarter. June, New Year. So I'm heading towards a new year in the next month or 2 and going into state. This will be sorted. Now, business activities need to be submitted every 3 months. Just remember, financial year is not Christmas year. it's financial year. At EOF, you see end of financial year adverts. EOFSC sales, like end of financial year sales, come here, come there. When it gets to the close of the year, it's sort of like middle of the year. That's the end of the year, right? So you guys will start wherever in the financial year. Whether you won't be doing a batch statement with me over 75,000 unless you already hit the threshold. Just want you to know the two different types of subcontractors, TPR and a normal subby. TPR, whereas you don't have your own, you got your own car, whatever, or you don't. You have your own tools, or you do, or you don't. You don't have a business name, you're not a business subby. You're working for me, whether you got a car, whether you got tools, whether you got anything, you're just working for me, I know you're good at the job. With my tools, your tools, whatever. I have to, you invoice me under your ABN, Australian business number. So you all need an ABN, otherwise you'll be taxed at the highest bracket, 50% plus. So make sure you got an ABN, guys, because you'll be at the highest bracket. If you've got a family, like I'll just add this in, silent partner. So if you've got a wife at home, not on an income, and you've made 100 grand this year, you can put 50 grand in her name, 50 grand in yours, and you pay a lower tax on that, rather than a higher tax in your name at 100. That's called a silent partner. You may want to get interested in that. TPR, guys, you don't have your own tools, but I want you to work for me. You want to invoice me, you want to sub out to me, give me an invoice in return for money, and do your taxes at the end of the year. That's what calls a TPR, and I need to let you know that I need to pay your super and your invoice, and that's it. I don't want to do that, guys. To me, I don't think that's viable. I don't think that's liable to me. I've got a liability here, and I think it's more viable. It's not viable in business to me. It's not viable. It's not good. It's not perfect. It's not viable. It just doesn't want to work. It's a liability, guys, because you're doing it under my insurance with my tools and all that. I want subcontractors, no franchises here. Subcontractors that will come in with their ABN, Australian business number. They've registered with the tax office in 15 minutes. They've gone on the ATO site. They've put in register for ABN. They've registered the ABN. Right, number one. Number two is they have their own tools and their own truck. I don't care if you've got one lawnmower, or you're missing a few things, or you got 10 of everything. Maybe I'll be sucking up to you. I've got a lot of subbies in bigger than me. Right, we do big arborist trees and things like that. But they're the contacts over the years. I've been doing this since I was 15, and I've got an old fella named Con, and he's got big things there for me waiting. All right, another few fellas there. So I've been doing this since I was 15. My dad had a work cover complaint. He kept someone alive with a bolt stuck on a what was it? A rig. So my dad was a rigger. He had to hold the I-beam and the dogger down below with the whistle for the crane didn't lift up enough. My dad had to hold it one arm and get that big nut on. The other guy in the other room was shitting himself, he was going to die. He fucked his bottom end discs, and I had to look after him all my life. So that means when I was young, he showed me everything. He showed me how to cut the grass. He showed me how to walk and talk, guys. So I've been doing this for a long time, but he's not business orientated like me. A lot of people don't have the balls to get into business and hold yourself strong. This is why I'm going to put you as a subcontractor with your ABN, with your name, however you're registered. You must be insured. Minimum of $5 million for indemnity insurance and liability. So if someone hurts themselves on site and breaks their leg worth $500,000 or 10 million, you're covered. If you hurt somebody, if you smash a window, a lot of reasons. That's just business insurance. Then you've got trailer insurance, tools insurance, car insurance. Then you've got work cover insurance or payments for a worker over 5,000 profit a year. So you want to get a worker in your subcontract business. Anything under $5,000 is free work cover. So you don't have to pay $115 part-time per worker. If they're full-time, it's roughly $1,200–1,300 a year. Go speak to the work cover. They'll let you know. And then when you're meeting those requirements, they'll give you 3 or 5 for free sessions with a project manager where he comes out, checks your OH&S, checks everything, and gets you into line and helps you out. Now, when you're a subcontractor, you'll do your financials at the end of the year. So I'm not taking TPRs, trade practices rules. I think that's what it's called, where you're a subby without insurance, without your tools. I pay your super, you invoice me and I pay you that way. No, 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 no. If you want to subcontract as Matthew's Gardening Service under your name, so an example, we've got a bird over there. So the first thing that came to me is Birdie's Grass. Proprietary Limited is a company, Pty Ltd or Ltd. You're a sole trader as a business name. So Consumer Affairs, you're not a company, you're just a business name. When you become a bigger, you're going to go as Proprietary Limited or Limited, which means on the stock exchange. So Proprietary Limited, you could have a $1 shelf company, which means they sue the company, not you. Now, the difference between a company and suing you, not you and not you, is that the entity, the company, so you got Birdie trading as Stephen Johns his last name. Stephen Johns works for Matthew Bezzina, Matthew's Gardening Service. Stephen Johns decided to open up Doves Are Us. Right, Doves Are Us. No one's got the name, it stands there, he loves it. He's trading as Proprietary Limited. That means something, guys. I'm going to tell you basically what it means, then I'm going to put it into an example. So my name's Matthew Bezzina, and that's it. I'm my own entity. But I have Jim's Mowing or whatever it's called. That's its own company. That is its own entity, which means it was born, it was created, it's its own, it's not me. So Proprietary Limited means that you're taking the ownership away from the contractee, contractor. So the person you're working for, if they want to sue you, will come after you. They're going after the company, not you. Okay, so if you've got a few regs you might want to do, I'm not doing it. I'm very good at my job. I'm confident. I don't want to spend $2,000 a year on opening a company. When I go into state, I'll have it sorted from Melbourne. So I don't give a shit. Come and sue me for who I am. I'm good at what I do. I've got no qualms in life. But when it becomes multi-million, like I say, that's when you want to open up Proprietary Limited. So I'm stating this for a reason. TPR, no, subbies. Proprietary Limited, question mark. If you're ever going to have workers for you under me in the future, then you may want to be a Proprietary Limited or may not. As long as you're insured, have some tools and ready to go, you'll be trained, retrained. So no matter where you come from, guys, you need to get out your head the previous shit you know, keep it on board and realise that you're coming in fresh, clean slate to learn a different way. Now, I will support you guys all the way, no matter what. I will state that you will need to do your financial business activity statements every quarter, your BAS statements every quarter. You'll need to do your personal income tax at the end of the year. So this is where it gets interesting, guys, for all you new subbies out there that are not understanding. You got a shoebox. That's my shoebox, guys. Alright, you got a shoebox. You got a profit on my right here at $1,000 coming in profit. Boom. I've locked it in my box, my safety box. I've got $1,000 in that brick. That's my fucking invoice book. That's right, I've got a shoebox. One for profits, one for losses. Well, I've got a shoebox just for all my expenses. So $1,000, I got an income for that. I got it in my bank account, pay ID. Then you go into your invoice book, guys. Your invoice book. And the day you do it is the day you write it in straight away, whether they need an invoice or not. The client may want an invoice for business purposes like yourself, so they can declare it against their business as an expense. So you got $1,000 job, boom, straight into that brick, guys. All right. Now, that's a pay ID or bank account or gone straight into my hand cash. It's an income. As soon as you can see it in the bank system and all the rest, you need to go. As soon as you get home, I will train you how to do all this. You get home, you go into your invoice book or system and you enter that profit straight away. So the next day or weeks or months ahead, you don't have to backdate all that shit. Work every 3 months to do your profits and loss every 3 months. Do it every day. And then you know two things. You know financially how you're going in the future. You know if tomorrow's a profit or a loss or where you can and can't manipulate your business. Very important, okay, if you want to be the best like me. And two is you don't want to be like overdoing it all the time. You've got to spend 4 hours on a fucking weekend to do every 3 or 6 months in profit and losses. Then you've got to hurry up and hope you run a profit or loss. And what do? You need to know every day what you're doing. You're fluctuating. So you need to know your business on all levels every day, every hour. Now, as a subby, I open and close my doors every day. Could be 9, 10 o'clock or 4 in the morning. I come in, I'll get the tools in order and get the tools ready for the next day. I'll get the bookings and I go. I'm inundated, guys. I work like I said, 72 hours in a 48-hour day. I work hard. More than 10 men, okay? I deserve this. This is what I deserve. So those subbies out there, this is what I expect from you. I don't expecting any slacking off every 3 months doing your profit and loss and asking me for $500 to fucking pay your taxes, or because you got no money left over, you're in negative. You need to know your shit, all right? So subcontractors, you do your profits at the end of the year, guys. At the end of the year, financial year, you go onto the ATO site and you do a self-assessment. You do it yourself. You should be able to, because you're doing your bookkeeping, your profit and your losses at the end of the year. I'll get you there. I'll help you. I recommend doing a self-assessment, because if you fuck up, there can always be an amendment in the future, and the tax office will recognize that you're trying, rather than going to a tax man and he's shoving all these extras and doesn't know what you're doing in the business. That's just fucking bullshit. Who cares if you put $200-300 on, or $2,000 or $10,000 or whatever. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You can claim up to, I think, 20,000 or 50 or 120 grand a year, a write-off. I can go buy a truck tomorrow and write it straight off against my business. So I don't want to pay profits. I don't want to pay tax this year. I want to buy a truck. I'll sell it when I'm ready, eh? Smart thinking, guys. Or another one is, I'm going to put it into my superannuation, which means I don't think you pay a full tax. I think it's just straight in there, and it's no income tax. So you can put it to your super. Or the other option is you can give it to a charity. If you feel like you just want to do this a few hours a week, and the profits you make, you want to give it to the salvos. You're old, you don't care, you're a millionaire, you just want to get in the firm and have a little subby going on and contribute in life. That's up to you. There are many ways to not hide your money, but manipulate your financial status. First and foremost, you need to know how you're running every day, all day, every day, by the hour, by the minute. You need to be able to close and open. You should be able to run a firm like as if it's a business. The doors are open and they're closed, and that's that. All right? Not, yeah, I'm a subby, I'll go chop a tree and we'll see what we get tomorrow. Okay? No. All my subbies need to be at a certain standard, okay? So you're not going to be a franchise. You can have your own business name, whatever. I'll give you work and you go, in respect to Matthew's Gardening Service. So a subcontractor, you will need your own ABN. You will need your own business name, or sole trader trading as you, sole trader trading as yourself. So Matthew Bazina trading as Matthew Bazina. You don't need to spend money on a business name and all that. You can just trade as Matthew Bazina under the ABN that you registered with the tax office. Simple as that. Pay your insurance, guys, which is about $500-600 a year. Maybe 1,000 with tools, or maybe 400-500. Oh, I had a subby pay $200-300. Whoa, what a dramatic drop from what I got. So you need to pay for your subby insurance. Very important, or you won't be subbed out. You need to have your ABN. You need to be BAS or not. BAS activity statements ready or not. What else? So you need to have ABN, BAS, question mark or not. Profit and losses at the end of the year. You need to have a computer system to run your profits and losses, or pen and paper in a diary. You got your invoice book and you got your expenses. And I'll explain this. Okay, so first you need an ABN, you need insurance, you need some tools, you need a car. Alright, so the main important thing you need as a subby with me is you need insurance. Certificate of currency. Alright, we'll talk about that in the interview and everything else. But this is knowledge, guys. Certificate of currency for business insurance. Under what scope you do. The other one is you need an ABN. Okay, some business cards, whatever, your own little business. I need to see that you're a little business and that you're worth something to me out there. When you go talk to that client, I know you're for real. Okay, not. Now, for those that are not subbed out like that and are starting off as workers, you can become a subcontractor. I will guide you and train you all the way through. Now, the other thing I will tell you as a subcontractor is very important. When you start up a business like this, setting it all up and that, you don't know if you're going to run a future profit or a loss. In my business, I will guarantee your business 100% without a fail. Guaranteed success. That all depends on you. But I'll be here to support you in a financial office administrative way, in a theoretical and practical way. I've got a lot of workers that leave this firm and say thank you weeks, days, months later. That hour they come and see me, shake my hand. Mate, you taught me so much in life. Okay, I'm not here to do you guys heads in. I'm only here to tell you what you need to know. So, very important, guys, very, very important. Now, as I was saying, with the $1,000 shoebox brick, you've earned $1,000. You've got your business running. I'm happy for you to go. Sorry, I'll step back on that because I was talking about the workers. If you don't have your own firm and you want to be a subby, you've earned your ways through the challenges and the levels of growing with the business. You've gotten from a $30 an hour all the way up to hundreds an hour, and I trust you. You got your own car, you don't have any tools, you're just living at your mum's, or you got a husband-wife situation going on, but you've been with me for a few months and you damn straight want to be a subby, you see a potential, then I will get you there. What I'm saying is the business is guaranteed success. No failing in the business, except the only one that fails the business is you. So, as a worker or a subby, if you see my business fail, if you see that I'm not doing things right or if things are flopping, I am the failure, not the business. The business is established and successful, subject to the workers, okay? Remember that. It's you that makes the success in life, or it's you that fails the firm. You go out and do a full day for $500 to a property, and you've come home at 10 o'clock at night with an expense or a loss, and your two workers have been highly paid or underpaid, your tools are broken and all the rest, you've run a flop of a business. That tells me something's wrong. My business is steering strong forward and will be for the next futures ahead, for the legacy. The reason why I'm doing this, guys, someone died in my arms, I want safety and damages met, okay? The reason why I'm doing this as a legacy of who I am when I die, it goes to my children or it gets sold for millions of dollars or whatever. I'm putting in the hard effort for this for my children's sake in the future. Okay, guys? So if you can relate, that's really important, whether you have your own subby business or not. Where do you sit? You are interested in subby, hence watching this video. Do you have your own subby business and I need to restructure everything with you? Or you're going to be my worker and you're now 6 months later looking into the subby videos, realizing this is it. So it's for all you guys, okay? The end thing is very, very important. Your success will equal your demand. So how good you are out there will equal your demand. I'm inundated with high demand. I'm number 10 in Melbourne, guys. Number 10 best in Melbourne, recognized by over 3 to 5 platforms, not just one. Okay, I get a client that calls me up and says, I heard from you from 5 different locations, not just one. My referrals are coming strong, guys. They're coming in strength. They're not just getting referral from one place and yep, whatever. They're hearing it here, they're hearing it there, they're seeing it here, they're seeing it there. They're online, 5, 10 different platforms. It's recognized. Every time I ask the client, how'd you find me? Gumtree, Service Seeking, Airtasker. I was at the shopping centre, this lady was talking to this lady and said Matthew. Then I went down to the servo and this other guy said Matthew, and then I looked on Gumtree for gardening near me and you came up. I found you in 3 different places within the hour. It's that strong, guys. It's taken me years to get there, but I know and I own that. I'm confident with that now. When it was happening, I was unsure. So I'm not a power tripper, guys, all right? But you need to be a bit of a power tripper in business to be the millionaire. But in saying that, keep it real, yeah? Keep it real. So, if I'm too harsh or too nice, it's for a reason, guys. Not because I'm against you or for you. I will never do that. So whether or not you've got your own business or whether or not you want to sub out or whatever the case is, guys, there's opportunity here for a long-term business without failure. So you're starting a business with me in success from the day you start, not oh, now I don't know how my business is going to go. It's going to take 2, 3. They usually say it takes 3 years for a business to start making a profit. Well, in this case, no. Your business profit will start on your first job. Simple as that. And I will never fail at that. And if there's concerns, then we address that straight away. All right, so that's really important, the difference between a subby and an employee. No TPRs, subcontractors welcome from the ground up, no problems. Okay, so I built this firm from the ground up. Someone died in my arms at work. I was the forklift driver. I hear a motorbike, first, second, straight into a truck. I go outside, 500 people there. They all run away. I got my hands full of blood, CPR for 2 hours. Helicopter channel 10 above me, cops everywhere, dragging me away. I lost him, he died. Okay, I didn't work for 2, 3 weeks. I went back to work, I got fired. Fuck yous all, I said to myself. Fuck yous all. I went and got psychological help. For 2, 3 years, I went and seen a psychiatrist and a psychologist to get better because I had problems. I sorted that shit out, guys. and I went out and started my own firm. Safety and damages are that fucking important to me. Don't screw up or you're fired. Okay? Just do your job in a professional manner, and you shouldn't have to even be threatened like that. It's not a threat. It's just, be aware, guys. Not every worker work for the best out there. All these employers out there are fucked when it comes to OHS and work safety. They pretend that their OHS is in standard mode, but nah. They'll get hit by that snake that my worker said stay safe. They'd get hurt by this or that. They'd get in concern when they stick their machines in there without looking. Go and check us out compared to all the other businesses that are like us, and you'll see a huge professional difference. So very important, safety and damages. I really take that home to me strongly. Okay, safety and damages towards tools as well. I've had tools that are in there from my nanu, all hand tools, guys. Some of those hand tools are from my nanu, which means in Maltese or Italian, my nanu means my grandfather. So he just passed not long ago, and I didn't have anything of tools, but I was living at his house for a while. I left all the tools for the sons and daughters, my aunties and uncles, but I took one screwdriver, one scissor, one hammer, just a few little things. So some of these things in there are sentimental, guys. All right? I'll let you use them in respect. If you lose a shifter, that was my nanos that I've had for a long time, and I see no respect with you, I'm going to flip it. Run. Quit your job and don't come back. If I catch you, you're gone. Okay, I'm a nice guy, but you don't want to fuck with me on the other side of town, mate. Because I'll tell you this now, I'm not the nicest when it comes to getting angry. So don't ever try to get on that level with me, okay? I will not tolerate it. So let's just be clear on that. I have sentimental tools in there. I don't mind you using them and all that. Just be clear. Safety and damages. I don't want to see you hit a rock negligently, like my previous worker, going 1,000 times a mile on the whippersnipper fast, down low, hitting rock, and smashes a fucking window. It's not on. And this is safety and damages, and why you work for me and not the dickhead companies out there that are the ones that are dying. Okay, so when I came back from that firm, I left. 2 weeks later, I got the sack. I sued them and I won. I went and got another job, and I realised I was driving a forklift under a high I-beam with one bolt missing, hanging down with one bolt on the end, not four. There's got 4 bolts on a big I-beam. 1, 2, 3, 4 big nuts. Had no nuts on that one side, had no nuts on one side, had one fucking nut holding up an old rusted out I-beam. 20 meters in the air, you got 20, 30 forklift drivers underneath there pickpacking, and you got people walking around. I go straight into the warehouse and tell them, hey, what's going on with that I-beam, man? I'm not going under that, and I've warned everyone to stay away. Nah, just get them to pick, don't get involved. It's safe. The ones that are driving by have a cage above them in the counterbalance forklifts like yourself, so even if it did fall down, you're under a cage. I said, that's not right, mate. Fix your shit, yeah? He said, don't worry about it. We're not fixing nothing. Continue on. The next day, I quit my job, and I didn't dob them into WorkSafe. I wish I did now. But in saying that, I say to myself, you never dob on your worst enemy ever. That's what my dad taught me, and that's what I'll teach my kids. Don't fucking dob. I hate dobbers. Alright, so you come in this business and you're a dobber, you're fired. Straight up. I don't care if they're right or wrong. It's not your area. Just get out of there. So when you come into this firm, you won't need to dob. You won't need to get angry. You won't need to get upset, because your boss loves you. Wants you safe to go home. Your boss wants the best for you. Hence why I might be an arsehole. I might be cruel to be kind. Okay? I don't care. I'm running a business, guys. I'm sorry, but it's not direct at you. It's because I'm running a business. Business is business. You're going to be a part of my business, then get real. Get real. All right? So, most importantly, safety and damages in the business game. If you're a subby, all right? More importantly, if you're a subby, because I've got to trust you, you're out there with your insurance on my behalf. I don't want you coming home dead, and I don't need a client complaining about your works or damages. So very important, guys. And then just want you to realize that as a subby, as your own business, you're going to be a success on your attributes, your attitude, what you put forward. If it was up to me, and I know you're a hard worker, you're guaranteed a success, because I'll give you plenty of work, guys. there's never a downfall in my game. So you're starting a business from the start. Straight away, you'll be making profits. Not 3 years later, now you're running a business. That's the rule. Any business will start making a profit after 3 years of operation. In your operation starting a business, you'll be a profit on the first hour standing as a business. Forward. You'll never be in loss. You'll always be a profit, and you'll always be in good hands. I will teach you all this as well. You'll sit down with me in the office. We'll have a big talk. Okay. Now, the reason why I am a businessman is for 2 reasons, apart from someone who died on me. That's the biggest reason. The other reason is when I was in a law firm, I learned all the legalities. I learned all about the law, all the teach. There was 5,000 applicants in the law at RMIT at the time. 500 chosen. I was the first one out of 500 to be chosen to go and do the courses in property law finance. So out of 5,000 applications put forward, there was 500 positions. I was the first one out of that position fulfilled, as in I was the first one out of 5,000 to take this course. I went and asked the coordinator teacher why. The old law firm lady said, because your experience is not the greatest. Like, you're in the game, you have an idea, you're not like the others, they've been in the industry long enough, but you stood out. You put in an application that we could not deny. So when you go out there on a firm, just know that you've got a good work businessman here, not just a boss. I was also a worker previously. I come from a high expectation of levels of experience, levels of quality skills, high expectations for you to get to, high expectations of a quality service, high expectations, okay? So if my expectations are here, then I will change my expectations to there, and I will meet them eventually. With you guys, it's not so serious, but that's who I am, and this is who you work for. A very professional, strong, attitude-minded businessman, Matthew. Okay, so the other 2 things that I said I will learn, apart from safety and damages, are relating to the legal thing that I said 5,500 me first chosen. There was one thing that I learned out of those years and years of law studies. Out of all the legality that I learned, I still know it in the back of my head. I can refer to it and take you to court, and under this act and pursuant to this contract rule and contract and whatever, I can get you. I can do my job. I'm qualified. But the 2 things that made me a success in life that I would like to pass to you is it didn't really take much. It didn't really take much. A lot of people were leaving these essays and exams after all those years. Towards the end, the final exam, 50 people ran out of the room, 200. And I'm shitting myself. I'm doing this exam thinking I was the worst. I got the best grades. So, the reason why I'm saying this is all those years I learned a lot of shit about law, property law, how to do my job as a lawyer, how to do your job in your guide of gardening. I learned that, as well as working for others. There were people in there already that knew their job. They wanted the certificate. I wanted the lot. But there was one or 2 things that stood out in the whole thing that made me a success in business, and that is when we did accounting, they taught us what a profit and loss was. It wasn't 1 + 1 = this, write this down, have you got it, have you got it? It wasn't a formality of a sense of like complicated. It was put to you in a sense of subcontractor, TPR or a normal subby or worker. What do you want to be? No explanation behind it. And it was the simple fact that I'd like to state